Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Stock Anime Robin. In this video, I'll be unboxing and reviewing the SH Monsterarts Anguirus from the 1972 Godzilla movie, Godzilla vs. Gigan. And this set is manufactured by Bandai Tamashii Nation. And as you can see, this set is still enclosed in its transport box, so we'll first take it out of the brown box here. Now let's quickly take a look of the details on this case before we open it up. So on the front we have a picture of the main figure here, and another overview picture on the side here, although in black and white. And on this side, nothing, just Anguirus' name. And on the back here, so we have like several pictures showing how, like most SH Monsterarts and SH Figuarts, this figure has a great articulation that allows it to put on many kinds of poses for displays, and a few other pictures to show how you can utilize this figure to pose with other monster arts based on the monsters or kaiju from the same movie, so you can recreate the things from the movie. And now let's get this monster out of the box. So we have the Anguirus Monsterarts inside the plastic casing here. And normally, to free the Monsterarts figure from their plastic casing, I would heavily recommend that you do it slowly and very gently, because usually the Monsterarts and SH Figuarts sets are filled with small interchangeable parts or other accessories. So if you just open the cover too quickly, you risk sending those small pieces flying over the place, and you're gonna have a very hard time trying to get them back. But in this case, it seems like we don't have any accessory in here. And back to the box real quick, and it seems like there is no instruction manual included, but to be sure, let's check out the other side here. And looks like they don't have any instruction printed on either sides in the interior of the box either. So it's a very simple figure here. So now we just have to open up the casing here. So as you see, the figure is wrapped in a plastic film. This usually means that the SH Monsterarts is brand new when you first open it. And here we have the Anguirus Monsterarts. Now as you see, this is this figure's default setup as it came out of the box standing on its two legs, which is strange but also interesting. But as you saw from the box, Anguirus is supposed to be a quadrupedal or four-legged monsters, yet they have him just being able to standing on his tools here. So this shows this figure has quite a bit of possibility potential that you can push beyond the normal display poses you would have Anguirus do. First, let's put it on its force. There we go. Seems like the trick here is having to try to raise its head here. Now let's check out the articulation of this figure. Let's start with the tail. So, like a lot of Godzilla monster arts, this Anguirus' tail is apparently superposable, very articulate here. It can like bend and pose pretty much like a real tail. And of course, this many spikes can make handling the tail kind of tricky because if you hold too hard onto it, your finger is not gonna feel too comfortable. And now for its legs and feet. And for its torso, this is actually its most probably most posable section of its body. And its shell back isn't exactly all fixed in one place. It's slightly loose, so it helps whenever its lower and upper body need to bend. The shell can kind of compensate it, and this is probably the hardest part and the trickiest part in handling this figure. This spike armor on the back here. It's obviously these are not actually razor sharp, and they don't have really pointy end, but there are so many of them, and they are kind of hard enough. If you press really hard on them, your hands are not gonna feel good. In fact, they may actually hurt, so you want to avoid having to directly handling this part as much as you can. And Anguirus's head looks like it has trouble trying to turn left and right. That's a little disappointment for the articulate figure. Actually, well, it cannot turn fully left and right, but it can apparently turn 45 degrees. That's actually a small issue I encountered earlier when trying to raise its head, because like I guess fresh out of the box, some of its joints are still tight. You can turn it like this, and again you can turn its head only about 45 degrees toward each direction, and you can close it and open its jaws. And with all these articulation, you can have this figure put on several poses, like the ones you saw from the back of the case. And this one's like Anguirus being forced back. And it would help if you have a compatible display stand to hold it in place. Here's a much simpler pose where Anguirus is raising his right front claws, getting ready to take a swipe at the enemy. Another simple pose like the one you saw from the case where Anguirus is looking up to Godzilla. Just as you saw before, this figure can actually stand up despite the fact Anguirus is supposed to be a four-legged kaiju or monster, and here is him like making a pose that's getting ready to strike an enemy with his right claws. And this covers all the basic features of this Monsterarts figure. Compared to most SH Monsterarts, this one is pretty simple because it doesn't have any effect parts or interchangeable parts for this figure to work with. All it has is its articulation and the fact that, like all SH Monsterarts, it's crafted very well. Its appearance has very strong screen accuracy. The best feature in this figure is possibly how well the eyes of Anguirus is painted. So it has like very lifelike impression and appearance. Or a little minor flaw of this design is that the eyeballs do not have any articulation at all, so it cannot move. So, which is why, like, if you try to look this figure from the front view, you can't really see its eyes, nor can it actually look like it's really looking straight forward. So it's only the side views that's looking really sharp. And this figure is trickier to work with than most SH Monsterarts because, as mentioned, it's full of spikes on its backs and tails, and whenever you try to work with this figure's joints, you would have to somehow touch those parts of the figure, namely its backs and its tails, so you tend to get stung a little bit. And again, while they are not razor sharp, it can be very uncomfortable trying to work with these parts. So if you're considering getting this figure, you have to be prepared to deal with this discomfort. Most collectors may not find this figure to be worth its market price because again, it is a good figure, but it's relatively simple compared to most Monsterarts because it doesn't have any additional features or effect parts to work with, only its own articulation and its good looks. So it seems to be the market price seems to be overcharging it. But overall, if you like an ankylosaurus or porcupine like kind of creature, or just dinosaur in general, so this dinosaur based kaiju or monster might be a good item for you to consider adding to your collection. Once again, despite Anguirus being a four-legged monster, this figure is capable of standing on its two legs, so it gives more possibility to put on different kind of display than it would from the movies. So there's a lot you can try to pull. What a different kind of display you can use this figure to pose. So if the issues I mentioned is not a big deal to you, then this is probably definitely a good item for you to add to your collection. This concludes my review for this set. Thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe to my channel, and please check out other videos in my channel. If you have any question, please leave them in the comment section. I will answer with the best of my knowledge and ability.